Have you ever stopped to think about the things you own? The phone in your hand, the clothes on your back, the car you drive. It all feels so solid, so real. But what if I told you that all of it, the entire system that delivers our modern life, is like a spider's web, a web that depends on just a few fragile threads stretching across the world's oceans? What happens if one of those threads snaps? This is not a story. Right now, there is a single strip of water that holds the world economy hostage. It's called the Strait of Hormuz. Think of it like the main water pipe for your entire city. If that one pipe gets blocked, does anyone get water? Of course not. This one channel is so important that nearly 20% of the entire world's daily oil supply is squeezed through it. A crisis here is not a regional issue. It becomes everyone's problem overnight. This is how one single choke point could bring the global economy to its knees. First, let's understand why this is such a dangerous setup. The Strait of Hormuz is the only way for ships to get from the energy-rich Persian Gulf out to the open ocean. Every day, millions of barrels of oil and about a fifth of the world's liquefied natural gas, LNG, get funneled through this one spot. And where is it all going? Over 80% is headed to Asia, powering the giant economies of China, Japan, South Korea, and India. For decades, the world has bet everything on this one passage always being open. But look at where it is. It's surrounded by risk, and there are almost no other options. The few pipelines that exist can't handle the massive volume carried by ships. It's like having a 10-lane highway of energy traffic that is forced to merge into a single, rickety old bridge. If that bridge closes, the entire global energy supply has a heart attack. So what happens if it really closes? The shockwave would be instant and catastrophic. Energy prices would explode. We've seen it before. Even small tensions in the area can make oil prices jump. A full shutdown will be the biggest supply shock in history. Hundreds of giant tankers will be trapped. The cost of insuring any ship that even thinks about going near there would go through the roof. And it's not just about oil for your car. The supply of LNG would also be crippled, which is what generates electricity for millions in both Europe and Asia. This creates a nightmare scenario for everyone. Prices for everything you buy go up, while the economy that pays your salary slows down to a crawl. Now, let's bring this home. Why should this faraway problem matter to you in Singapore and Malaysia? Think of it like a river. The Strait of Hormuz is the source, where all the energy, water, comes from. Singapore and Malaysia are cities built downstream. If someone puts a dam at the source of the river, do the downstream cities stay dry, or do they run out of water? Singapore is one of the world's biggest hubs for refining oil and chemicals. But it has no oil of its own. It's the kitchen, not the farm. It relies on that river of energy to keep its economic engine running. On top of that, about 94% of Singapore's electricity is generated from imported natural gas. A problem in Hormuz isn't a headline. It's a direct threat to the power in your home and the health of the economy. For Malaysia, it's a bit more complicated, but no safer. Malaysia produces its own oil, which is great, but it also has to import other types of crude oil for its own refineries to turn into petrol and other products. It's like owning an apple orchard, but still needing to buy oranges from the market. A huge spike in the price of oranges still hurts your wallet. A sustained price shock would blow a massive hole in the national budget because of fuel subsidies. For everyday families in both places, the crisis hits you everywhere. The price of petrol makes your daily commute more expensive. The cost of transporting food means your groceries get more expensive. Your electricity bill goes up. Airlines, which spend a huge chunk of their money on jet fuel, will have to raise ticket prices. A problem in a narrow channel thousands of kilometers away suddenly means real pain in your wallet. The Strait of Hormuz shows us a simple, frightening truth about our world. Our prosperity is balanced on a handful of very fragile points. We have built a system that is incredibly efficient when it works, but dangerously brittle when it breaks. Geography itself can be turned into an economic weapon. The real question is not whether we can protect these tiny passages. The real question is, why have we built a world that is so dangerously dependent on them in the first place? What do you think is the biggest weak spot in our global system today? Let me know in the comments.